I think ultimately the reason why I became curious about this after we calculated how much we thought the gentleman that we met at the ice cream shop spent on his shoe collection.
It's like $50K.
Yes. And so I was thinking, man, like, does he have that amount in his investment portfolio? Or
what does he have in his savings?
Yeah, the emergency fund, exactly.
Yeah.
Or are there other areas of his financial life that are potentially not where he wants them to be, but he has this habit that is taking money for something that is unnecessary?
Welcome. This is For Better and Worth,
The podcast where we don't believe you have to sacrifice your relationship while you grow and build your net worth.
We are your hosts.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Erica Young, and we're so glad you're joining us today.
All right, y'all, let's get into it.
The For Better and Worth podcast is sponsored by American Heritage Credit Union, a not-for-profit credit union that helps you take control of your financial future.
As a member of American Heritage, you're an owner. You'll be charged fewer fees, earn more in the form of dividends on your account, and have access to lower rates on loans.
Whether your goal is to save for a down payment on a home, create an emergency fund, or build for the retirement you've always dreamed of, American Heritage has the products, resources, and solutions you need.
After all, American Heritage is for the people, not for profit. So to learn more, go to ahcu.co/for better and worth.
Hey, honey, how are you?
Doing good.
You are doing good. Are you gonna wear any particular sneakers today? I'm curious.
I don't know. It depends on what color, what palette I'm operating in. I got green on right now, but I don't know if this is a all day kind of thing.
I know.
I woke up, it was like, it's spring, but it feels like it was cold.
Yeah.
So I needed to put something that was a little warmer on. So this might not be an all day color.
Yeah. Because you got sneakers for every color outfit.
Why are you in my closet?
I'm just saying, because what we're talking about today is a sneaker habit. And I thought you had a sneaker habit until we met somebody when we were going to get ice cream whose habit is worse than yours.
Yeah, I just have a couple pairs of shoes. That's all that is. This dude, he over the top.
A couple means 2 or 3.
I mean, I got a couple.
A few. A couple.
I got a couple of couples. A few couples.
I think you have a couple dozen. A couple dozen.
Okay, that might be true. A few. It is what it is.
It's semantics.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look. When you, in light of what we encountered, I don't have a habit.
So we were getting ice cream, and you had on some shoes that looked similar to another gentleman in line.
It's the same model of shoe.
Yes,
and
a different color.
Air Max 1s.
Yes.
And I said, oh yeah, I could tell he was a sneakerhead because I saw the shoes. And I said, yeah, I got a few pair of these. He was like, oh, I got like 35. I said, wait, 35 Air Max 1s? He was like, oh yeah.
I was tripping. This one kind of shoe, he had 35 pairs of the single pair of shoe. I was like, that's crazy.
Then I said, well, how many shoes do you have? He said, about 350.
Oh my gosh.
I said, all right. You got me beat. That's for sure.
And so part of that conversation was you were looking at me like, don't worry about me because my little habit is not like his habit.
Look, my little few dozen is nothing.
There was a time, well, let's be very clear. You do have more sneakers than I do, but I'm becoming a little more into my sneaker era. So I'm building my little sneakers up, my collection. But there was a time when you had more shoes than I did all around, period. Hands
I probably
down.
still have more shoes than you, but.
Oh, he admits it.
It is what it is.
Oh my gosh.
But when I saw this guy, and he said he had 350 pairs of shoes, everything for us is a conversation about money and spending. And at 350, on average, $150 pair of shoes, that's over 50 grand in shoes sitting in your closet.
That's nuts.
I was pretty flabbergasted that he had that many shoes. And we know people who we got a good friend who works for Nike. He has a lot of shoes.
Yeah.
But he gets significant discounts. He actually turns the shoes over.
It's part of his job.
Yeah, so
He literally can't come into work with other shoes on.
Right. He has to wear their brand.
Exactly.
So that was interesting. But this guy, just random dude, he likes sneakers.
And I was outdone. I couldn't even have the rest of the conversation. I didn't know anything else about what he was up to because I was done. I don't even know where I would put 350 pairs of shoes. I mean,
That's seriously, because I have shoe storage issues and I don't have near as many. But I think the bigger thing is everybody has something that is a hobby, or they collect, or something that they like and enjoy. And it may not be sneakers for you, but it might be something different. Like what would you say is your hobby?
I wouldn't call it a hobby.
Or passion, or what would you call it?
I'm calling it a vice. The thing that gets me, it's my kryptonite. It is the thing that causes me to spend money.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I want you to say it.
That I don't need to spend. Let me be very clear. I spend money on this, and I don't need to spend money on this. And that is why I call it a vice. It is the kryptonite. It is the thing that will
That's a good way to put it.
My downfall. And so, meaning, I'll spend, and I don't really do this, but like it's something that you would spend money on even if you ain't had the money, right? Because it is such a pull. You're like really attached to it. Like you really want that new thing.
Well, what is yours?
Clothing. I buy clothing.
Yes, you do.
And I don't buy expensive clothing. I don't have like a brand issue. I don't have that.
You just like what you like.
I just like shopping. I mean, and honestly, 10 years ago, I probably wasn't like that. But sometimes I will buy two of the similar things to see which one I want. And I did that just recently, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep either one of them.
The thing about you and shopping, I never have a real worry or concern because look, you're always so value and budget conscious that you're not gonna go crazy. Like, you're not big into designer bags. I mean, you like some designer bags, but like, Louis and Gucci. If I brought one of those home, you'd be like, what is this?
I'd be like, take it back. And the brands that I like are reasonably priced.
Right.
So when I do like a name brand specifically, for instance, I like Coach. That is my purse brand of choice.
I'm start calling you an old head. It's an old head.
It is.
It's an old head brand.
But she is very consistent.
Yeah.
She knows what I like. So when something new comes out, it's for me.
It works for you.
And I probably get a new Coach once every 2 years. It's not like a big deal, but I kind of like them for a birthday or Christmas or whatever.
Right.
But I'm not really like into it where I'm like, what's going on this month? I need a new one. I'm not like that at all. What's yours, babe?
Well, I was gonna say I'm not gonna leave you out there because I don't know if I have like any one true vice, but I think when I buy
your
things,
habit. This is your habit.
Yeah, this is definitely more of a habit, or this is the way I operate typically. I spend in spurts.
Yes.
Like big spurts. If I'm gonna buy something, you like, okay, we about to drop some. If I'm gonna buy some suits, or if I'm buying sneakers or just whatever, I like watches. You like, man, you spending all of my clothing budget for a year.
So let me give an example. So the last 2 times you spent in spurts, one was motivated by me because I was like, hey, let's go
Yeah.
shopping. You need to get some new stuff. And,
Yeah, I just needed some stuff. I had been complaining and
but you spent a good sum on, I don't know if you want to tell the number, but you spent a lot of money. Let's say it was over $1,000 in one day, okay?
yeah, I got like 6 shirts and a pair of pants and like
and a pair of shoes.
Yeah, a pair of
Sneakers.
shoes and like a quarter zip.
Yeah.
So I got like what was that?
8 things. or
8,
something
9
like that.
items, and it was $1,000 or something
So,
like that.
so it's like anytime I know you're going to spend money, it's going to be big dollars. And then the other thing that you spent money on was a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I just wanted a PlayStation.
Right.
I wanted a PS5.
And so so your posture here, and like you shaking your shoulders, like, yeah, whatever, like no big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
I wanted a stress relief. So
what
I work hard, so I needed to, be able to game and just
and that's
stress release.
fine. You're justifying the purchase. The thing that I'm talking about is that it was no big deal to you. For me, to spend $600 or, I mean, I've never gone shopping for clothing and spent $1,000 or over $1,000. Never,
Well,
not ever.
Hold on. Yes, you have.
When? On what? On what?
I mean, did it just hit you?
So
But that was a special occasion.
it was initiated by you.
It was, but
That was not my doing.
I know, but you spent the money.
And you know what I did? Okay, so let's back up. One time in our 28-year marriage, 27-and-a-half-year marriage, you surprised me with the shopping spree.
You said
No, let me finish. And brought my friend who is a stylist to come and style me. And so we went to Nordstrom, where I don't typically shop all the time. And then she took me to a few other places. She helped me clean out my closet, all the things. Like it was a
it was a whole experience.
It was a very special experience. And you did have a budget. Like you did say, here is the upper
for sure.
limit. And then what I did, to be very, very clear, we bought these things and I was like, oh my gosh, it was overwhelming. And over the next 2 weeks, I went to make sure that I was getting the best price on some of that stuff.
did.
And I returned a couple things.
You did.
And I bought some other stuff that was
and-
less expensive. I did that. So anyway,
Yeah.
the point that I am making is I would probably have never done that on my own.
Okay.
All I'm saying is
it was me spending in another spurt. So
it was a
my
beautiful
habits.
gift. It was a beautiful surprise.
But I think people can have vices or habits because I know there's people who go to Starbucks every single day.
Yes.
And you can't go to Starbucks without spending at minimum $6, $7, $8 a day.
Just on one person.
Right. And that's like if you only buy a singular drink, you're going to spend at least $6. And that's every day. And you add that up over time, it's going to add up. And I think the point that we're making here is that people always say what they can or what they can't do. But you can do what you want to do if you make a decision that's different. Like if the gentleman we ran into, if he really stood back and realized I've got 50 grand worth of shoes in my closet, and he probably can't recoup all of that money because some of them maybe they're above retail, some of them are below, but he can't recoup all of that money. So I look at that as like, man, that's like sunk costs. It's just like lost funds to some degree. So you better enjoy those shoes.
Yeah. So I guess the question is, what is it worth? Like, are you doing the things that you need to do to get ahead financially, or is your habit or vice getting in the way?
Yeah, I feel like you can be excited about something today that brings you excitement or joy or fulfillment, but is that thing today sacrificing the future that you want to work towards? And that's why I always say, you hear me say this to people all the time. People can look at your life today and see the output, but they don't see any of the corresponding input along the way. And so I always think about how our life, we've made decisions along the way. And nobody saw those decisions or us saying no to this or yes to that, because we were always looking with an eye, not only for today, but an eye towards the future. Mm-hmm. And if you have a vice like, man, I really want Starbucks. Man, I got to go to Starbucks. You're not thinking about, man, how is this adding up? Or, I mean, some people are, because everybody can't afford Starbucks, but, you know, but I still think when you have a vice, that can ruin, it's almost like an addiction. To a degree.
Sometimes things can be an addiction, yes. And I think that we have to take a step back and we have to say, why am I doing this? What is it?
Yeah.
What is it giving to me? What bucket is it filling in my soul? And why do I need it? Because I think sometimes it's out of habit. So, case in point, I'll just put myself out here again. I told you I had bought 2 things of the same thing, right? And I was like, I'm just trying to find this one thing and I don't know why I'm looking for it. So then I said, like, why do I want this? Do I want this anymore? Why do I want this? And then it's like, okay, so maybe I don't really need or want it anymore. and we don't slow down enough to do that.
Yeah.
We just don't.
I think I do that more so than I don't. That's why I end up spending in spurts.
Yeah.
Because I will think, I want to do this, or I want to buy this, or I want to spend money on this. And then I'll go and I'll investigate. And I'm like, I'm not so interested in spending that money anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And then I'll just sit on it. And then if I really want to do it, I'll go back to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so oftentimes I find myself spending in spurts because I've just said, no, I don't think so. Or whatever version of no I come up with. And then I get to a point where it's like, okay, now it's not a want, it's a need sometimes. Mm-hmm. So then I'm filling the gap. Mm-hmm. And that gap becomes, just more expensive because I do it all at once versus like you just do it gradually over time. And the impact is much less when you do it over time versus when I go and do it in big spurts. But even somebody who buys Starbucks every day, that's over time. But over time, that adds up.
Right. So $7 a day for 30 days is over $200. It's $210.
A month.
So here's my thing.
Just imagine if somebody took $200 and put it into their retirement, or if they were saving for something, just put an extra $200 away or extra $200 on a debt that you're trying to get rid of versus drinking your debt.
Mm-hmm. So my thing is this, sometimes it's dining out. Sometimes we try and justify our habits because part of it is a need. Sure, food is a need, but dining out is not. And I have a real problem with this. For myself, for a number of reasons. One, I'm gonna always eat more. I'm gonna overindulge when I go out to eat. I can say we're gonna cut it in half or I'm gonna do something different, but I remember the times when I have, gone out to eat and I'm like, this is the healthy thing. This is looking at the calories or whatever. This is the thing I should eat. And it's not what I want.
That's not the thing you want to eat.
Or I'll get it and I remember one time getting a meal because of the calories and looking at everyone else's. We were out to breakfast with a couple, and I remember looking at their plates. And this was a long time ago, because if I told you the name, you would be like, they don't even live here anymore. And so I was looking at it, and
you had food envy.
I did. So here's my thing. In order to ensure that I don't overindulge, I would rather be very strategic about when I go out to eat, right? But then it's also the money factor. Right. Dining out is expensive. And so there's a part of me that's like, it's so much less money if we just stay at home. Right. And so then, I have all these things in my head about dining out. And so I don't do it personally a lot. And I'm strategic about where I go when I do.
Yeah. Dining out can be a slippery slope because it fulfills multiple needs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because one, you need to eat. But 2, a lot of times you don't want to cook. Mm-hmm. 3, you don't want to have to clean up after you cook. Mm-hmm. And you can get something that you wouldn't normally cook at home.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of different factors to it. And I think that's why people get caught up, especially if you have a family and you have kids and you've worked and you come home and you're tired and people are looking at you like, what are we gonna eat? And then you're like, I've been working all day. I'm tired. I don't feel like it. Let's order pizza. Or let's go grab something, or let's this. And I know I see more dining out bills. I'm like, man, why is stuff so expensive?
It's expensive. So I'm gonna put another one out here that we don't have to deal with anymore. But is a big vice for people.
Okay.
Their kids. Kids' activities, kids' clothes, kids' electronics, kids' toys, kids, any and everything. We don't want to deny our children anything.
Look, you talked about me buying a PlayStation, and just the PlayStation, like, and an extra controller, like, was $600.
But just think about kids wanting to get the newest game all the time.
Right. And I'm saying, like, you mentioned kids and buying for kids, and I think about how people spend at like Christmas time, and games are like $70 a game unless you go to a resale store, and sometimes they're still expensive there, but you can always get, because that's typically how I buy games. I go get used games because I really don't care. I just want to play the game sometime, which I don't even play that much.
The other thing is their activities. Their activities are expensive.
Travel sports. Ooh, Jesus.
It is.
You need an SBA loan.
I mean,
You need an SBA loan to pay for travel, soccer and club, baseball and AAU basketball.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
And we want the enrichment for our kids, but the cost of it we're not paying attention to.
Look,
and that's crazy.
I see people paying for like club and travel soccer, and just the kit, the uniforms. I think sometimes they're like $1,000 just for the uniforms. And then they have to travel, and they have to have hotels. Then you go back to dining out. You get dining out. You either have airfare if you're going further than you can drive. So it's like a major expense. I was like, there's only so many Pelés and Messis and, who's the other guy? The biggest guy.
Oh, the biggest soccer guy?
Yeah. Messi is one.
I can't think right now.
Ronaldo.
Yes.
Ronaldo.
There you go.
Yeah, Ronaldo and Messi and Pele, they the big ones.
Yeah.
But there's only so many Messi and Pelés and Ronaldos out there. And I'm sure that your kid is not one of them.
And I think it's hard because a parent wants to give their kid as much as they can, and they want to put a smile on their face, and they, frankly, let's be very honest, they want them kids out their hair too. They want them they want them occupied and active, and also tired when they come home. You know, I mean, I get all of that, but
I know there's some kids that will get scholarships for soccer or sports or whatever it is, But I endorse free sports.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, okay, so I'm gonna just say this because I feel like on that note, we tend to say, I'm gonna invest in them now so they can get a free scholarship. But if you think about it, does it make financial sense to spend $5,000 every year on a kid in order to save money on tuition?
Save that $5,000
right
into
Are we
$529 UGMA?
Are we trading off the investment side of it in order for them to actually, get there and potentially get a scholarship, which is not guaranteed, right? Just because you're paying for this doesn't mean that they're going to be amazing at it. And so I just really think that, we have to really take a step back if possible. Sometimes those are the things that are really good to bounce off of other people who are unbiased. But I get how that's a pull for people.
This whole money thing requires you to be intentional.
Yeah.
It definitely requires intention because we can make decisions in the heat of the moment, or we can be motivated by a number of different things. But I always think that just slowing down and giving yourself time and space to breathe and think is some of the best advice I ever give people. Don't be so impulsive that you just go with the wind and do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, if it's for your kids or your family, you have to be mindful, you know, because business owners, they have business owners, they take retreats. And you know what they do with those retreats? They take a moment to slow down, to be clear on their schedule so their mind can be clear and they can forecast and they can focus on decision making.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get caught up in the hustle and bustle and the rut of things and we make decisions. It's like just all the time, just on the go, and it's more spontaneous.
So I think ultimately the reason why I became curious about this after we calculated how much we thought the gentleman that we met at the ice cream shop spent on his shoe collection.
It's like $50K.
Yes. And so I was thinking, man, like, does he have that amount in his investment portfolio? Or
what does he have in his savings?
Yeah, the emergency fund, exactly.
Yeah.
Or are there other areas of his financial life that are potentially not where he wants them to be, but he has this habit that is taking money for something that is unnecessary? Because the truth is, you know, I don't know. I mean, there is a resale market here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
But what?
you know, it's like certain shoes.
Sure.
But I saw the way his wife looked, and she was like,
Yeah.
she had that kind of side eye, like, I told him you need to stop buying shoes.
It creates division.
I could tell there was some angst when he said that 350, because I saw the look she had on her face. I was like, oh, that's a sore spot right there.
It's a touchy subject.
Yeah, but I see why, because when you start adding up, like, first of all, if you got 350 pairs of shoes, you got a whole shoe room. That's a room just full of shoes that are yours. Then, you know, you can't just have shoe boxes. He probably got the shoe cases because he wants to see his shoes, and his shoe shrine is in there.
Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine, to be honest with you. I'm not in...
You know what? The kids, we're about to be fully empty nesters. I'm not turning that into a guest room. I'm going to turn that into a shoe room.
Okay. You know what? We got to get to make it worth it.
You know what?
We got to get to make it worth it.
You know,
No.
after this, I'm going on Amazon.
Absolutely not.
And I'm going to buy all the cases.
Absolutely not.
And I'm going to put them around the room.
We got to unplug.
Then I got to just start filling them.
How you turn this thing off?
No way am I going to do that. I'm not doing that. Even with the shoes I have, I go in my closet. I was like, man, these shoe boxes are all in the way.
All over the place.
I was like, man, I got to figure this out. This is not working.
It's not working. But you know what? I'm to the place now. Okay, so if we think about this habit, I don't want to expand what I have. I'm actually thinking about, okay, how do I get rid of something?
Yeah.
Every single month, I am adding to a bag of things that I donate to give away. And I have a specific organization that I really like,
Yep.
and I'm very intentional about donating. And so my thing is I don't want to put something in that can't fit. I'm not trying to fill up 3 closets. I want to say,
Right.
what have I not worn in the last 2 years that needs to go? And I actually have a couple of shirts that I need to try on and see, do I even like it as the person that I am today, right? So there is that. And we have to think about, how does our habit fit into our current life? You know what I'm saying? So I want to get to my make it worth it before I forget.
Okay, let's have it.
So my make it worth it is add up what your habit is costing you. So I have a habit. I like to shop, and I like clothes, and I just enjoy having something new. And
You want to look good?
And I don't know. I'm curious, babe. Would you have a guess at how much my closet is worth?
Your entire closet?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, I think it's several thousand. Would you say 5?
I would think it's more than that.
You would think 5,000?
Yeah, easily.
Okay. Easily.
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's more than that?
Yeah, you got a lot of clothes in there.
Okay.
You got 2 closets actually. It's a lot of stuff in there.
Let's not see. See, this
You
is
asked
what we're
the
not
question.
talking about. I don't have 2 full closets. I have a closet and a half.
Okay.
It's only a half. I promise.
Okay. I agree with you.
Would you agree
You
that
open
I know.
You open the box up and
I
start
did.
asking me questions. So
So would you say it's $7,000?
yeah, sure.
Okay. So we can land there for now?
No, let's just say 10,000.
I don't think it's that much.
Somewhere between 7 and 10.
That's
maybe.
crazy. Now that feels weird. That feels weird. That's a big number to me. Anyway, so that's fine. Okay, so that's what we think the closet is worth. Great, awesome. What about your habits? Like you do bursts of shopping or whatever, and they're typically bigger ticket items. So like in a year time, I don't spend $10,000 in a year. I definitely don't do that. But if you were to add up your bursts, what do you think it would be for a year?
You're not putting all my business out here. You can put your business out here, but
We're a team. This is Team Young. What you talking about? What?
More than yours.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, more than yours.
Okay. But it's not 50,000. And I'm not shaming. I don't want to shame anybody on our
Not at all.
podcast. But I want to say that we do have habits that are probably costing us, let's just say it's 5 figures. It's not, let's just say it's 10 grand a piece. I don't know.
Yeah,
It could
I don't
be,
know.
right? But, and I think that's probably accurate. And you just do it differently in different timing, right? But here's the thing. You know whether or not you can afford that.
Yeah.
You know whether or not you can afford that. And we are not changing other parts of our life in order to fit that in. Our retirement is on track. Our emergency fund is intact. And as of 2026, we have no mortgage.
Yeah.
So like, what I'm saying is we are in a position where those things are not going to derail our other progress. So I would just say, add it up. Think about your habit or your vice and what is it costing you in that year and see if you're okay with that and what do you need to change on that. That's my make it worth it.
That's good. It's a good make it worth it.
What about you, babe?
I'd just say count the costs. Mm-hmm. Like basically it's similar to what you're saying, but that's what the Bible says, count the cost.
Yeah.
Know if you're going to start a build project, if you can finish it. Mm-hmm. Because there is, in the area we live in, there is I'm assuming a restaurant or some food franchise that's being built. Mm-hmm. And it has been in progress for a long time. Oh, yeah. And I was like, I think they ran out of money because there is no work that's happening on that location. We rode by one day and they were doing something. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe they got their construction loan or I don't know. But then I've ridden by there since then, weeks, nothing is happening. Mm-hmm. And that place has been under construction for over a year or more.
And there's that other one, the golf course or the golf.
Oh, that was
years of halting because they didn't have money for it.
Yeah, that was years and years, and now they're actively working on that one.
Yes, we see a structure.
But this first one, they have a structure. It's bricked, but there is no activity on the site, and it just makes me think about how if you don't count the cost before you start doing something or you have a habit, you're gonna sacrifice somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if you are drinking Starbucks, you may be drinking your future. And I'm not saying don't go to Starbucks. I like Starbucks, but I kind of measure when I go and I start making coffee at home because I don't know. I think sometimes I'm just frugal.
Yeah. Well, you have areas where you're frugal.
Yeah, because when I know we say I spend in bursts, which is true. But sometimes I'll go to Starbucks and they'll say, the amount and pull around. I'll be like, dang, for a coffee? Mm-hmm. I started going to Dunkin' Donuts, like, just give me a regular coffee. I don't need anything fancy. Or what's even more funny, if I'm in a hurry, I'm out, I stop at the gas station and give me like
Isn't that terrible coffee?
No, the gas station has stepped their game up with real coffee, not like all these other, lattes and all that other stuff. But I was like, I'll stop at the gas station, give me like $2 cup of coffee and just be I sound like an old man. Just be like,
You know what? I'm just letting you talk, babe. You walking into your old mandom. That's happening.
right. Or I'll throw something in the Keurig, be like, man, I bought these 10 K-cups for like $6, man, 60 cents. But we are very mindful about how we spend, and we're at a point today where we don't have to say no as frequently, but we choose to. And so if you count the costs, you'll say, okay, is my retirement funded? Is my emergency fund funded? Have I focused on eliminating debt? If you do those things and you're on track, then by all means, indulge.
Yeah.
But make the priority before you're eating or you're, sneakering away your future. So
There we go. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
So I'm still gonna be buying sneakers, but I think we have the, one in, one out, because you can only wear, like, it would take him a year to wear all of those sneakers, wearing a different
One a day.
every day.
That's wild to me. That's
Yes.
wild to me.
You'd be like, man, I forgot I had those. I haven't worn those in a year. Exactly.
That is something else to me.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, so my hope is that, like, I love the phrase, you count the cost and you add up your total amount that you're
Yep.
spending on that vice and see if you're okay with it, and maybe take the next step and say, what if I invested some of this? Even half of
Right.
it would be great, right?
Because I know the fire community, they want to get you there sooner.
Yeah.
And if you can get there sooner and do something different
Yeah.
or enjoy life on your own terms, that's a whole different ball game when you get to that point. So
Yeah. This has been good, babe.
Yeah.
So I know you're a sneakerhead, but I appreciate that you aren't
over the top.
creating a new room for all your
Yeah.
sneakers. So
Not yet.
no. On that note, until next time.
We're out.
Thank you for spending some of your time with us today.
We appreciate all of your support, so be sure to subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen to this podcast.
You can find us on Instagram at For Better and Worth.
And sign up to receive our free guide, The 7 Reasons Your Money Relationship Isn't Working with Your Partner, on forbetterandworth.com.
Until next time, we're out of here.